Seen a grown man naked?
From the world-famous Blackbird Studios, it's the Rave X podcast. And now, Rave X.
Hot damn, baby, it's your boy Rave X back again. The Rave X podcast, episode 41, Break-In. But before we get to that, man, I just want to talk about some things that are going on in the news. First of all, it was brick-ass cold up here in Boston the last couple of days. Freezing, man. Crazy, right? Global warming, we love you again, come back. Secondly, there's this like senator or congressman or something from Virginia that had some pictures of him apparently in blackface or with a Klan hood on. It was unclear to me which one he was supposed to be. And everyone wanted him to resign. And he came out and said, hey, that was me. I'm sorry. It was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. Then this motherfucker came out and said, oh, no, that wasn't me, and I'm not going to resign and all that shit. My thing is this, to you, Whitey, during Black History Month. If you take so many pictures in Klan hoods with blackface on that you can't remember which one was you, your ass needs to go. I just want to say that. What else is going on in the news? Oh, yeah. So apparently Ben Affleck is no longer Batman. We've known that forever. Apparently he just came out recently and admitted to it. But it wasn't really admitting to it. He just said he was looking forward to the new Matt Reeves Batman movie and then retweeted something that said Ben Affleck passes the torch to a younger generation of Bruce Wayne. This is all types of fucked up because we all hated Ben Affleck as Batman, and then when we saw him, we were like, yo, he's the best Batman ever, and then it just fizzled out. DC was trying to copy Marvel with the whole connected universe movies and stuff, but what they should have been trying to do was copy Marvel because Marvel has their shit together. DC, are you listening? Get your shit together. So now, no more Batman, no more Superman. The whole thing just pisses me off. So yeah, Ben Affleck's no longer Batman. People got pictures of themselves wearing Klan hoods and blackface. Damn, Whitey, get your act together. This world is crazy. You know what? My New Year's resolution this year was the same as it was for the past 5 years, which was for everyone else to get their shit together. Let's get on the ball, people. Let's get on the ball. This shit is crazy. Anyway, Rave X Podcast, episode 41, Break-In. I'm going to tell you about the time that I locked my keys in the house, or I left them in the house, and I went to work, and I came back figuring that my roommates would be home, and then I decided, well, I'll just try to break into my own house. And guess what happened? I caught someone trying to break into my house. Crazy, right? Let's dive in. So when I used to have roommates, they had different days off than me. They worked for the same company. I worked for a different company. And, they had like Wednesday and Sunday off. So a lot of times there'd be a party going on a Tuesday, and that's just how it was. Now, I had to wake up really early, but that didn't stop me from partying, man. You know me, I'm like a party whore, right? So we're all partying and shit. It gets late. I go to bed. I wake up. I'm rushing to get out the house, man. I'm hungover. It was really horrible. I remember this pretty clearly, stumbling around looking for my keys. Had no idea where my house keys were, but I figured, well, I have roommates and they'll be home when I get home around 4:30 or whatever. So I just took off. Went to work. It was a horrible day. I kept splashing water on my face and smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee, because I was so hungover. So anyway, I come home. I knock on the door. No one answers. Turns out my roommates went to go get like lunch at IHOP or something, so no one was home. And it was like December 18th or something. And I'm just standing out there like, damn, I'm freezing. I got no keys to the house. And maybe I can try to break into one of the windows or something to get into the house. So I put my bag down by the front door, and I slowly walk around back, and I look down by the basement door, which was sort of down about 8 steps, and I see a 19-year-old Hispanic kid, and he's got some bags in his hands like Neiman Marcus and Target and stuff like that. He's got some bags down by his side, and I look in the bags, and it looks like gifts, right? Like things are kind of gift wraps and looks like some girly stuff like pink ribbons and stuff. And I look at him, and he's got like a screwdriver in his hand, and he's like trying the door to my basement. And I'd never seen this kid before in my life. So I look at him and I go, can I help you with something? And he jumps and he turns around and looks up at me. Now I'm standing at the top of the steps, and I feel pretty confident that he's not really going to do anything because, straight out of The Art of War, if you have your enemy from an elevated area, you've got the upper hand. And to be completely honest with you, I felt pretty confident that if things did go to blows, I could beat the crap out of this kid anyway.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
So he's about 10 feet lower than I am. And I figured if he tried to charge me, I would just kick him or whatever. It's really hard to run up a hill and attack someone or run upstairs and attack someone. So I'm pretty confident he's not going to do anything to me. And he turns and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, hey, yeah, I just locked my keys out of the house," which was ironic because that's what I did. And he goes, this is my aunt's house, I'm just trying to get back into my aunt's house, And I look at this liar, this thief, and I go, "Wait, this is your aunt's house?" He goes, yeah, my aunt moved in about 8 months ago, and I'm just staying with her, I'm here from Puerto Rico, I'm just staying with my aunt, and I locked the stuff out, I locked my keys out, and I was doing some shopping, for my aunt and stuff. And I look at him and I go, "You and your aunt live in this house?" And he goes, "Yeah, and we're really tight with the landlord, man. We're really cool with the landlord. He wouldn't mind. I'm just trying to jimmy my way in to my own house, you know what I mean?" Now, pause the tape, guys. How crazy is this, that this guy is going to spin this story, that this is his aunt's house, he lives there, and he simply locked himself out while doing some Christmas shopping. Now, I started to piece together and realize why he was spinning me this tale. He thought I was a cop. Because I was a site supervisor at a building running security, and my uniform was just black pants. Also, I had my black winter jacket on with the faux wool around the collar, black hat and gloves, how I always dress black. Now, I don't want to give up this ruse, right? So I reach my hand behind me to pretend like I got my hand on a gun. And I kind of turn slightly sideways, right? Like I'm ready. And not only am I pretending like I'm holding on to a gun, but I'm thinking it in my head so I can project this into him, right? And he's getting this vibe like, "Oh shit, this is a cop. They caught me breaking in this house. I'm just going to tell him I live here." And that's what he did. He's telling me the story. His aunt lives there. This is his house. Blah, blah, blah. No big deal. And I'm just looking at this fucking criminal like, whatever, man, right? And I start to get angry like, do I want to hit this guy? Do I want to try to wrestle him to the ground and hold him for the cops? And I'm like, let me just see how it plays out, right? Now, our neighbors down the road, we lived in a small sort of private way. There were only like 11 houses on this little private strip. Someone had broken into their house about a month prior to this, and they had given everyone a note. They like Xerox a note saying, "Look, our house got broken into. You guys, be aware, look around, be aware of your surroundings. If you see anything that doesn't make sense, probably it's the burglar." And I'm piecing together, this is the kid who had broken into their house, and now he's just going down the private way, breaking into people's houses, grabbing shit, and literally just moving on to the next house because it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Most people, they're not home yet, right? So he's looking at me. I'm looking at him. I take a few steps back. He starts to gather up his bags and stuff. He puts the screwdriver away, and he looks at me and goes, I can just leave. You want me to just leave? I'll just come back when my aunt gets here, And I'm still like, "Your aunt. And you're cool with the landlord?" Yeah, we mad tight with the landlord." So I look at him and I go, "What's the landlord's name?" Now, I remember the landlord. He was an Italian guy. His name was like Antonio Cardulo or something, right? He looks at me and he goes, they just switched landlords? So we were cool with the old landlord. His name was Mike. Now, let me tell you this from living there for 6 years. Never was there a landlord named Mike, nor did this guy's aunt live there, obviously. And I go, "They just switched landlords, huh?" And he goes, yeah, but we're still mad cool. You want me to just take off? I'll call my aunt later, have her let me in? I go, "Yeah. Why don't you do me a favor, son? Why don't you take off, and why don't you never fucking come back? If I see you back here again, you're going to jail." And he goes, Yeah, no problem, man, no problem. I'm not trying to do nothing, no problem. So I take a few steps back and I pull out my cell phone and I start to dial 911. He pulls out his phone, trying to one up my ruse, and pretends like he's talking to his aunt, right? And I hear him going, "Auntie, yeah, it's me. Police was giving me trouble. I was just trying to get in the house. Can you just come back and let me in?" Now, he didn't even dial anything. He's just trying to not go to jail. I call the police, and I see the burglar, bad guy, walk through the parking lot, and he just hops in the first cab that comes. Like, he just flags down a cab, hops in it, and takes off going into like Alston. So he's heading like north, I guess, from my apartment. And I call the police and I'm telling them, okay, he's about 5'9", black jacket, short haircut, clean shaven. And the way that I'm telling them this is how in security we would give a description of an SP, suspicious person, right? So they're like, yes, sir. Like, they probably think I'm a cop or something, or former military or whatever. And they're like, okay, he was in a red, white, and blue cab heading north into Alston. Okay, what's your address? I tell him. Next thing I know, like a minute and a half later, like 8 cop cars, unmarked cars, they all pull up. I'm telling them the story, shake their hand, my name's whatever. Here's my badge, I actually work security, I'm a supervisor at blah, blah, blah. Here's what the kid did. We had some break-ins. I think that's the guy. They put on an APB. Now, an APB stands for All Points Bulletin, because they're telling every cop car in this neighborhood to look out for this 19, 20-year-old Hispanic kid, 6 foot tall, short hair, clean shaven. And they send the cop cars out to find this kid. And I'm going, okay, they're never going to find this kid. That's fine. At least I stopped them from breaking into my house. We're going to secure the house later. We're going to put some wood blocks in the windows so the windows can't be open. And about 5 minutes later, cops pull up in a car. Detective gets out, comes over to me and says, we think we caught the guy. Can you ID him? And I said, look, I don't even want to see this cat again, and I don't even want him to see me again. And I noticed the detective is holding the same Neiman Marcus bags with the girly ribbons and stuff in there, and I go, yo, if that's the bag you got off the guy you caught, that's him. And they said, okay, hold on. They went, they ran his name. Sure enough, this guy's got warrants for breaking and entering, failure to appear in court, all this different stuff. He's got warrants, right? Detective says to me, we just ran him. He's got warrants. And you don't even have to identify him because he's already going to go to jail for at least 10 years on the stuff that we got him on. And I'm like, good. You guys did a good job, And they're asking me for ID and stuff. And they caught the guy. It was amazing. Usually cops don't work this fast, but within like a 8 to 10 minute period, they showed up at the house, caught the guy, got the stolen merchandise from him, found out he had warrants, and then told me that he's going away for a really long time and that you'll never see this guy again. Wow. What a story. Do you guys need any more proof that your boy Rave X is a goddamn hero? Stopping bad guys, saving little girls, saving lives, you name it, your boy Rave X has done it. Anyway, that was the story of the time I caught a burglar trying to break into my house while I was trying to break into my own house. Crazy, right? That's going to wrap it up for me. My name's Rave X, episode 41, Break-In. Do me a favor, man. Click like, subscribe, and click that little bell right next to the subscribe thing. It really helps out the show. And as always, kids, remember this. Your lifestyle determines your death style. My name's Rave X, and I'm out of here.
That was the Rave X podcast. Be sure to click like and subscribe. For podcasts, new music, and all things Rave X, go to youtube.com and search Rave X Music.